Hi, this is Rachel Mills with Make and Create Drawing Skills class. Today we're going to be doing just pure experimentation. And at the end I'm going to talk about keeping a sketchbook over the summer. So, to start, you might want to collect a few things. Now, depending on what's available to you, different things will be available to you. I've gotten some wee plants that I'm going to use in my paint and sort of use as a brush to get some sort of cool mark making effects. I've got this one over here and I've got some sticks as well. And I've got some sticks as well. I could even make a wee brush if I can find some sort of hair fibre, whether that's going to be from some sort of synthetic hair you can find about, or just some sort of fluff. Just whatever sort of things you're collecting, be sure you have permission, especially from your parents. Just don't go cutting up everything and try and make brushes. I've also got some pasta noodles. I've also got some pasta noodles, which I'm going to tape together and make a sort of scratchy brush thing and see how that goes. I'm also going to go grab some yarn. Which I can use for my brushes as well. Could use that for fibre. And that'll be really great. Something like that. Tie it up. Using a bit of tape is always great. If you have duct tape, that's going to work best for you. There we go. I myself have actually got some electrical tape. So that's what I'm going to use for my brushes. So you can go and collect some sort of outside things, with permission of course, and create a few brushes to make some sort of different textures and things. Make sure it's something that's going to make all these different textures. You don't want everything that's going to make the same kind of mark. You want things that'll make different marks. So I'm going to use a bit of watercolour and maybe a bit of ink, but just some kind of paint. If you maybe don't have any sort of paints at all, you can kind of experiment with how you can make your coloured pencils into different sort of tools, make different sort of marks, or how you can kind of smear around your charcoal or graphite with different tools. Just try to get really experimental and think outside the box. So, I think I'm first going to start with these little guys. I'm just going to dip that in my water, dip that in my paint, and see how that goes. Things might get a little bit messy, but that's just sort of the nature of this. You're not going to be able to get too controlled of marks with this little weed. And you might get like a few little like bits and things in your paint, like over here. The main sort of idea will be to do some sort of abstract, or you could even do something somewhat representational, but you should let it get a bit abstract since it is going to be very hard to have any sort of control. You should really embrace the medium, and the medium is these sort of weird little sticks and stuff. So you should sort of embrace how uncontrollable and how strange they can sort of be. I want you to also think about the elements while you use this. So all the other lessons that we've had in the past, try to apply them, try to think about them at least. I'm going to try my little pasta thing. I'm going to try the other side as well. I might be able to get... It's also not very permanent, a lot of these sort of tools and things. And now I'm going to try my yarn brush and see how that goes. It's a bit floppy. Get some sort of softer edges and things. I might want to do a couple of different drawings or a couple of different paintings using these sort of supplies. So the one painting so I can sort of get to know the supplies, and the other so I can use what I now know to do something a little bit more controlled. But like I said, don't try to be too controlled with this. It is wild, it is fun, so have lots and lots of wild fun with that. You can even use your fingers if you feel so inclined. I think that is going to be great fun. As you can see, I'm just kind of putting things down. I'm not really mixing too much. I'm letting it do a lot of its own mixing. It also depends on what sort of paint you use. If you're going to be using watercolour or inks or something, it's going to end up a little bit different than if you try to use acrylics. I can even use a rag to sort of move things around and sort of scrub things off. And so if you see, I've got my finger in there, so I can have a kind of controlled rag. This is an old sock actually, which is a great use for old socks you can't wear anymore. Here we are. So I think I'm going to leave that at that for now. I can always let it dry and come back. And now I'm just going to talk about sketchbooks. So this is my sketchbook from last year, August, October. So the reason I want to bring out one of my own sketchbooks so you can get a sort of idea of how a sketchbook should be used. So of course, whatever sort of sketchbook, whatever way you're going to use your sketchbook might be a bit different than mine, but a sketchbook should truly be a place to explore, a place to draw a lot and make a lot of mistakes. So anyone who doesn't have a sketchbook or isn't able to get their hands on a sketchbook, I just want to encourage you all to keep a sketchbook over the summer, because there's so many good sketching opportunities when the weather is a bit nicer and you're able to be outside, or right now it might be a bit harder to be outside, but even just look out the window. So that plein air. So if you remember that plein air lesson we had about painting things from our window and painting outside, to do that sort of thing in our sketchbooks and just keep doing art throughout the summer. So if you can't get like a sketchbook like this, I just got like £1 at the works, and that's really inexpensive and easy. This is just an A5, not sponsored. Anyways, if you can't get a sketchbook that way or having a hard time, you can always just get some paper, fold it in half, staple it, tie some string around it, whatever keeps it together, and just make a sort of wee sketchbook. And you can kind of carry that around with you. The reason why I carry a sketchbook around so much is because it keeps things together, and I always have a place to put things. Because sometimes you're thinking, oh, I kind of feel like sketching, but I'm kind of scared to just start a full drawing, and like, what if I kind of lose interest in it halfway through? Sketchbook, you don't have to worry about that. You can kind of have some unfinished things going on. You can have these sort of doodles and stuff happening. You can have a slightly more finished stuff. You can have things that just really didn't work out for you. And you can have these sort of plein air paintings and everything where you went outside, which is another great thing about a sketchbook, because you can kind of carry it with you, especially a smaller one. That's why I quite like an A5. Although I do miss something bigger sometimes. But it's nice to have something a sort of small to medium size so that you can draw so much. So I'm really going to recommend you over the summer, if you feel so inclined, draw something once a day. That might sound like a very, very daunting task. If that's too daunting for you, you can always draw something once every other day, or just draw however much you're going to draw. At the end of the day, it would just be amazing for you to come back with a full sketchbook. I think that would be absolutely incredible. So to use everything you've learned over these lessons, I'm not sure if you're able to go back to these lessons, to go back to these lessons, go over them again, even do them in your sketchbook if you feel like it. And just over the summer, just work on strengthening things that you don't think you're strong with. You say, you know what, I'm not very good at faces, I want to get better at faces, then you can do that. If you say, I want to plan some things out, that's another great thing for a sketchbook. You can use it to plan out big drawings and stuff. Because I don't want you to only draw on your sketchbook. I think it'd be amazing for you to still do these finished drawings, but it's whatever is going to work for you. It's always a good idea, I think, to sort of decorate your front cover and make it a little bit more interesting, make it something that you look at and love. So to make your sketchbook cover interesting and fun for you, I've just added stickers and things on this one. I've painted other sketchbook covers. I think my current sketchbook cover, I've done a whole collage on. So that's my current sketchbook. Another good thing to do is to add sort of goals and things. I don't think I actually have goals and things that I want to do in this sketchbook. Can't wait to see all of your sketchbook experiments and all the other amazing things that you've been doing. Keep drawing and stay safe.